Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Marisa Fletcher, and I am here with my wonderful co-hosts, Miss Isela Bonata, Cynthia Alvidrez, and Crystal Yim. And we are the Women of Power. We host our weekly training here every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We thank you all for joining us. For anyone that's new, this is open to everyone. It's hosted by women, but open to everyone. So please invite your team, your friends at Powur that want to learn more here. All right, for those of you that already know, we always like to start with some inspiration. So what I say is, please turn your camera on, engage with us, jump off mute or raise your hand. We're gonna start out with some inspiration. Share a win with us that you had the last week, the last couple of weeks, the last month. There's some examples on the screen, but I think I'm going to get started with the win. I'm going to start out today. So some of you know that I come from the real estate profession. I'm a real estate broker, been in real estate for 23 years and added solar about 3 years ago. Well, I'm a trainer educator in real estate and now in solar, and I've got a lot of top professional agents that I've been trying to link up with solar because it'll be a value add to their clients. It'll just be a help for them to have that. I just partnered with a good friend. I've known her about 20 years in the industry. We just signed her up as a seller. We are going through her database. This woman is the #1 agent in Moreno Valley for the last 8 years. And she has a database of hundreds of past clients. She's got a 10,000 area farm. We're going to do some advertising on that farm together. So on her real estate cards, there's going to be a section for solar, and we're just going to blow that partnership up. So I'm super excited to have her on board, and she's going to be on these meetings when she has an opportunity. But that's my win. Happy to have partnered with my friend there in solar. So thank you. Thank you. I see some hands. I see Miss Robin. Robin, your hand's up first, so you can go ahead and get us started.
Thanks, Marisa. So Marisa was kind enough to be my mentor this week on a proposal that we put together, and we had a great meeting with my ex-sister-in-law who really wants to go solar. So we're hoping we're going to get her signed up. She's in California, so we're looking at the deadline for M2. And I had another solar meeting with a local customer this week, did a second meeting with the wife to answer some more questions. And her response to me at the end of the meeting was, I don't see why we wouldn't do this. So, and their last cash proposal that they got from another solar company was $75,000 and mine was 30.
Wow. Whoa. Nice. That's an amazing win.
I have 2 meetings today with homeowners. So I have a meeting to go over a proposal with a homeowner that they have electric heat. So it's like a 10,000, no, almost 20,000 K system. And then I had got a referral on Facebook for someone looking at solar. So I'm meeting with them today. Again, they have a huge house and a swimming pool. So I'm really excited. So there's a lot happening and I'm very excited. And thank you, Lisa.
Of course, anytime. You are on fire, Robin. How long have you been with the platform?
I think about 6 weeks.
Well, great job. Great job. Way to kick it off. Way to be plugged into these meetings so you know the different avenues to grow your business. Great job. That's nice. Oh, I see a bunch of hands. I see a lot of people that want to talk. So let's go with Joan, then Isela, and then the gentleman, Barry and Anthony. So Joan, Isela, Barry, Anthony.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
You can.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple of fun things. I took Cynthia and Marisa's advice about doing a Realtor 101 session, and I called where I used to be a realtor and said, hey, can I get on the schedule? And they said, sure. And so I'm on the schedule for April 27th. And then I called one lender and said, would you like to provide lunch? And he said, sure. So it's a lunch and learn of Solar 101 for realtors. So I'm super excited about that. And it was so little effort. So I'm excited. And then I think Marisa and I are hopefully going to do something for EXP for the Climate Action Network as as part of Earth Month as well. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for all the encouragement and the like, just go do it. And yeah, that was like the easiest thing I've ever done. So super excited about that. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Joan. That is an awesome win. I love it. I love it. Going out and putting the steps into action that you heard on our training, and it's working. That's
For
great.
sure.
Isela, floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. We're so happy to see all of us that we're surviving right now, this crazy, crazy journey, solar coaster. I'm just really excited for Damien. We closed his first official deal. This is one of Anthony's team members that joined, and it was a tough one. Sometimes there's some homeowners that just are really detailed and super picky, and then we've got other ones that have huge systems and sign documents with no problem. So it's just about being confident in what you're presenting to the client, present the options. But we're really excited that yes, it's always exciting when you close your first deal. So I'm really excited for him. Also, we're about to close a deal with on my team. I actually have an EXP agent, and it's a 60 panel system. And just excited to move forward as a cash deal. So there's a lot of deals that are closing right now. Focus on your follow-ups. I lost count, honestly, like I really did. So all my focus is to help especially my mentees to close so focus on the closing, focus on your follow-ups, be confident on what you're doing. And we know we're all working long hours. So I just want to congratulate everybody, on this journey, because it is long hours. So anyways, congratulations, and moving forward to the next one.
Great job, Isela. Great way to help your team members. 60 panel system. Whoa, big. All cash. Nice. Nice. Barry, what you got for us, my friend?
Good morning, all. A lot of you already know this. I take power walks all the time, with the power garb and all of that stuff. And that got featured on KTLA News. They had a little segment, and I sent in a picture, and one of the ladies there, that's one of the reporters, got kind of friendly with me. So she gave me a heads up it was going to make it on the air. And she's the one that she actually narrated it, saying what I do and all of that stuff. So I got a little bit of free advertising for me and for Powur, by doing that. So that's kind of neat. And something that isn't so neat is I was negotiating a 22.4 kilowatt system. The guy was finally ready to sign, and his son has gotten very sick. I don't know what's going on, but he spent the whole day and night at the hospital yesterday. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this guy signed in time for an M2 now. And so it's a little bit frustrating, not only for me, but also for him. So I don't know when his head's going to be back in the game to get back into it, because I feel like I'm torn. Yeah, I want to be sympathetic, obviously, to his son and all of that. And at the same time, I don't want him to get screwed out of M2. So, and I don't want to be a pest. So it's kind of a weird situation that I find myself in now with that one.
Nice. Well, not nice for scenario number 2, but scenario number 1, KTLA. Yeah. That's a good plug there. I hope you're using that to send to all your clients, all your people on the fence, and saying, "Hey, I made the news."
Yeah,
right?
I put it on also the Power Pioneers and all of that. So some people have already commented on that, but yeah, I'm using that. Definitely using it.
Nice. Congrats. Thank you for that share, Barry. We appreciate you as always. Anthony, what you got for us? And then I see Sandra has her hand raised.
Good
and
morning.
You guys are gonna be our last 2, so let's make them good.
I have a few, so I'll try to run through them pretty quick. Good morning. So you guys all know I used to be a soccer coach, and when we used to score 3 goals in a game, we would call it a hat trick. So I was fortunate enough to close 3 projects on Tuesday. So I had a hat trick there. Eventually my goal is to have a hat trick of hat tricks. So 9 projects in a week. Hopefully I could be like Cynthia and Raysa and Isela and Kristlyn. You guys are rocking, and Raysa and Rob. We did promote 3 mentors within the last 3 weeks within our team. One of them being Vicky Sochi, which a lot of you guys know. She's always on these calls. She's learned a lot from these calls here and from the mentors that have helped her out. So really proud of her. I want to give a shout out to Isela Bonada. If it wasn't for her helping the team, man, I'd be crazy with a lot of projects, fortunately. And shout out to Damien. You're very coachable, man. Love working with you. And I'm really excited to learn from Rob and Raysa. I've been telling my wife about, your story, the Latinos power couple, and I'm excited to be on here and learn from you guys. I've been following your social media. So I tell my wife all the time, like, hey, we could do it. Like you need to, she signed up, but I need to have her build the business with me. So I have hope that after 3 years, hopefully she'll be in. So I'm excited. But that's it for me. Thank you guys. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you always joining us and growing Powur, promoting people to tier 3. We love it. We appreciate you guys. What you got for us, Miss Sandy? Yours, that we saved the best for last. So what you got for us before we jump into our training? You're on mute, darling.
Talking muted. Okay, so this week I have my first ground mount project going in, so that's going to be interesting. And then I also became certified as a on-demand site surveyor. So
Nice.
I'm very happy about that. Yeah.
Very nice. I think we just had that training last week from our brother Jonathan Bernasso talking about on-demand site surveys and how they can help us grow our business, and we can use it for marketing.
Yes. So excited about those two things.
Nice. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you as always. Thank you for being here. And on that positive note, we are now going to proceed with our meeting so we can get right to that wonderful training. Right before that, though, we always like to share with the team. We like to share with everyone future and upcoming trainings that you should be a part of. If you can be on them, please grab a screenshot of this. We've got trainings on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. We literally have training every single day of the week. If it's not with team leads such as ourselves or with some of our brothers in Powur, it's at Powur Corporate. So if you check out powurcalendar.com, you'll get access to everything corporate. If you take a screenshot of this, you'll get access to individual and local team lead activities and trainings. Really, really important, everyone, please check into your market development meetings. If you are selling in a specific market, you want to be sure that you join the market development meeting for that market each week. At least try to jump on, if not each week, a couple of times a month, so that you can get updated on what's going on in that market that you're selling in, okay? Also, when our weekly newsletter and our email recap comes up, all of these trainings will be on there as well. Mark them, put them on your calendar. Very, very helpful. Another screenshot for you guys to grab, how to get project help. So a lot of times I know everyone is slammed. We're trying to get, especially in California, we're trying to get everyone in for NIM 2.0. And a lot of times we have questions on projects. Here are the steps. Here are the milestones or the steps for you to go through in order to get that help. Okay, we're adding on new project managers here at Powur. They're interviewing like crazy, adding new PMs so they can support the load that we do. Guys, we're an awesome team here and we sell a lot of solar. So yeah, so they're working on a lot of projects. So this is how you're going to get your help. Here's also a URL and a tiny .com website to go to get this information. Okay, and now what everyone has been waiting for this week, we have the wonderful Raysa Santiago training us on social media. So guys, lots of us know Raysa. For those that don't know Raysa, let me just tell you a little bit about her so you get to know who's giving you this info. Raysa Santiago, she is a tier 3 mentor. So she's at the tier 3 mentor status, and she is a Powur builder. She does so well that she's part of the Powur builder clubs, and she's 50x on building teams with Powur. She's one of the top income earners here at Powur, and she's a woman. Yay, we love it. We love it. Nothing against our guys here. She's also an Andrea Budd Award nominee. That's pretty special, guys. Not everybody gets recognized or recommended for that award. So that means she's doing some amazing things. A lot of people see her, a lot of people notice her. And when that award comes up once a year, guys, she was recommended for that award. And not only that, she is one of our solar champions. She is a 50x solar champion. I'm sure on her way to 100x here by next week. Man, we've got some talent on the line. At this time, I'm going to turn over the mic to Raysa Santiago. She's going to jump into her social media training. And guys, this is going to be good. So Raysa, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm like, who's she talking about? Super excited to be on this call. Super passionate about showing the women, right, that we could do it in this industry. I had a lot of doubts, I'm not gonna lie, when I first got started. But I was the one that actually took the leap. And then my husband was my first recruit. So it's kind of like the opposite. So a little bit about me, guys, and how I found Powur. I actually was introduced to direct sales by a young man, 4 years ago, in a credit restoration company. And so that in itself changed my life. Prior to that, I was dealing with a bankruptcy, divorce. I have a special needs child with autism. And I remember leaving $1.07 in my bank account to start that business. And, I was able to learn a lot. I'm super grateful for all the mentors. So I learned a lot of my social media and kind of how to build a direct sales business through that. And then when Powur was introduced to me, so the correlation here is that I was always looking for solar pros because I knew that credit was their biggest challenge, right? Credit qualified customers. So I'm like, hey, if I can help you with your customers and pay you for a referral fee, and then you could get them approved for going solar, then we're a good partnership. So lo and behold, I ended up finding none of the less but Gilberto Luigi Leon, right? That everybody knows from Powur here in Tampa. And we built a really solid friendship. And, I'm like, well, I'll help you with credit. You teach me a little bit about solar. I know nothing about solar. And, we all have a start date, but then we have an actual launch date. So I started with Powur May 2021, but I was so involved in my other business. I was a top leader. I didn't want to, kind of like my audience was mostly credit and financial. And so I didn't know how to make that transition. Well, it wasn't until June 2022 that we saw our neighbor go solar, and my husband was like, aren't you in this like solar company? Like, why is it that our neighbor, like, how much commission is that? So he started to ask about the comp plan, and I immediately brought over Gilberto Luigi Leon, and they became best friends. He's here almost every single day. And then I started to see the vision of Powur. And when I sat down and really looked at the compensation plan, was able to meet, Bobby and some of the top people that we all known to love now, it was a no-brainer for me to make that decision. So from June 1st, we made the decision to go 100% in, and we've had so much success so fast, but I want people to realize that we paid the price somewhere else. It's not like we came into this company, we knew what we were doing. We were 4 years in direct sales, network marketing, we know how to build teams. But more importantly, transitioning is we understood the power of social media. So many people in Powur, do the door-to-door, and we don't do door-to-door at all. We are now starting to kind of figure out how to transition into that. But our whole career here and everything that you've seen us do has been strictly on social media. So I definitely want to go ahead and share, my screen here with you guys, so we can go over some of the social media strategies that I really think can help a lot of you transition and be able to do more virtual sales. So if you are looking to improve, your sales via social media, type a 1 in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you like, I want to improve by social media. I want to be able to get leads through social media. I want to be able to influence and get more sellers through social media. I'm going to show you some tips that are definitely going to help you with that. And when I first came in, didn't understand everything about social media either. There's algorithms, there's all kinds of things, but we've been able to grow a team of over, now I think we just hit the 500 mark with Powur now. So we were at like 400 during convention. I think we just hit 500 now. And our goal is much bigger than that, but how have we been able to do that? Well, we're really big on social media and influencing, because the reality is we're in a lifestyle business. So my thing is, there's people that are good on different platforms. So pick a platform. That's like my first advice to anyone is, we have people that are amazing on Instagram, amazing on Facebook, whatever platform, and then just focus on that one platform. I feel like some people always try to focus on all platforms at the same time, and then you like really don't get the influence and the following that you're looking for. Specifically today, I'm gonna train more on Facebook because I feel like it's more personal. And so that's what has helped me personally. But again, these tips could be applied all throughout. So the first tip that I will give you guys is going to be on profile photos. So social media profiles, a profile is a place on Facebook where you can share information about yourself,
your interests, photos, videos, your current city and hometown. But profiles can also be places where creators connect, right? We are trying to connect all the time with different people, whether they're renters or homeowners. Everyone knows a homeowner, right? And so the biggest mistake I see business professionals make, and one of the things, so when one of my teammates comes to me and tells me, I'm not having success, I'm not getting any leads, what do you think the first thing I do? I immediately go to their Facebook page, and I can already identify why they are not attracting sellers, why they are not attracting clients. I can immediately identify that. And, you know, sometimes I have to have that heart-to-heart conversation, like, hey, you cannot have a picture of your cat on your profile. Like, I don't want to buy solar from a cat. Like, it's just the reality, but I love my cat. I get that. But your profile sometimes is not professional, and it does not look like you're selling what you say that you're selling. And, you know, your profile pics a lot of times is not you. I've had people that have their family on there. Again, nothing against family, cats, pets, but it's called your profile pic for a reason. So I really recommend, if you haven't done so already, get a photo shoot, a nice professional. You will be surprised how far that goes to have a professional photo shoot on your profile pic. It doesn't cost much. You can get a headshot almost anywhere nowadays. But again, ask around in your local community who does professional photos. And I'm telling you, it's going to make a big difference for your profile. That would be the first step. And then again, when you look at the cover photo, that's another opportunity for you to express what is that you do. And so the cover photo, I mean, me and my husband were like, okay, we got to brand ourselves. We got to create our brand. What is our brand? You know, so we did Team R&R, Rob and Raysa. You know, that's something that our previous team gave us, kind of like that name, Team R&R. So we're like, hey, let's use that, because we can still kind of do our credit thing. And obviously in solar, we could still help the people that we are not able to approve and credit. So I feel like we have that advantage to be able to help with that as well. But I'm like, how can we create something that can help, you know, what we've already done and build? So as you can see, as soon as you come on my page, we automatically have our brand, we have a professional photo, and my bio automatically says, preparing you for a future powered by the sun. For income opportunities, text income too. So there's always a call to action within my bio as well. And this is within seconds of you coming onto my profile. And so again, if I were to advise on one of the things you can change right away, even after this call, I would really look at your Facebook and say, am I really doing, you know, am I trying to sell a dream looking like a nightmare? You know, so like, that's really what you, and no offense to that, but that's what my mentors taught me. So I'm just teaching you guys what I learned. Number two is the about me info. Oftentimes I see, you know, I'll go to the profile and I'll see worked at, you know, Lowe's, worked at Home Depot, worked at this. There's like 100 workplaces that you worked at. And then there's nothing about what you do. And then another mistake that I see people make is they automatically put started at Powur. How many of you guys have seen that? Type of one in the chat. Somebody automatically go in the workplace and change it to Powur Independent Rep. Well, don't change your workplace name to Powur on social media. And the reason why, I know it sounds, you know, obviously we love Powur, we brand Powur. I have Powur on all the time, right? That it's a whole different thing, because now you're eliminating the curiosity. People could just go Google Powur and then make their own assumptions about the company without talking to you. You want to create that curiosity so that people ask you questions and not Google the company and decide to either go with another person or worse, buy from another person. They'll be like, hey, well, my friend is in Powur. She told me about this first, but you were the one that educated them. So this is one of the biggest things, you know, clean that up. I have it really, really cleaned up on mine. You know, obviously we've all worked at different places before, but we're all entrepreneurs now. We all came into Powur to be entrepreneurs, and that's one of the biggest things. Number three is going to be stop selling and start storytelling. So many times we see on social media, hey, you know, save 50%, zero down. Okay, cool. We know what the pitch is when it comes to solar. Do you think that your social media, you know, friends want to see that all the time? Probably not. Plus, it's also not going to relate to them as much, right? So with stories, you could be less spammy and less sales billboard. And now you start to create some touches with people. Example, I recently had one of my clients that sent me her bill after going solar, and it was negative $7.50. So she wrote a huge post about how budgeting was very stressful for her and how her bill used to be 300. She never knew what her bill was going to come at. And she's the one that manages all the expenses of the household with her family. And so she wrote that story and tagged me in it. And I used that story. Why? Because now someone can relate to that. If I post, hey, this person now has a negative $7.50 bill, how can they relate to that, right? But can someone relate as a woman that, you know, if you have a bill that's fluctuating hundreds of dollars in that fluctuation, it really skews your budget. And now you're wondering how you're going to put food on the table, you know, that month. So those testimonials are really, really, really big. And also testimonials, all the leaders on here have a ton of respect for all of you guys. You know, I appreciate you guys even having me on here because I look up to all of you. But I use your stories all the time too. You know, obviously the story of Cynthia, we use the stories of Marissa. I've seen, you know, we've all seen the videos where they do an amazing job telling their story. And those, you know, those are recordings that we can put on our social medias. That's a story that we can put on our social media. So I always look at the top leaders, income earners in the company and use their story because there's someone that's going to relate to that. And that in itself is already content that you're putting out there. So sell the problem by sharing the ones that you have solved already. And then borrow stories until you have your own. Everyone's like, I don't have a story, you know, I didn't go solar, or, you know, I'm not making $1 million a year or whatever. So you feel like you don't have a story, but what are the other top leaders posting? So one of the things my mentors always taught me is okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And I think we can all agree there's a lot of good cats to copy on this call. Number 4 is going to be to stop selling and start attracting. The reality is we are in the lifestyle business, right? And what we are selling is freedom. We want to attract people to our lifestyle. We want to attract people to time freedom, to our culture that we have within our team, our behind the scenes, you know, what's going on behind the scenes, what Rob or Raysa are doing. And, you know, I want to give a huge shout out to my husband because the other night, while I could be watching Netflix, while I could be doing, you know, at the end of the night when I could wind down and kind of do something for myself, I was actually reading a book on how to actually further increase my business and my knowledge. And he took a picture of that and he posted it on social media and he wrote something really nice, which again, I really appreciate him for that because that's the behind the scenes that a lot of people don't do, you know, or a lot of people don't see even. And so that was huge because now people are like, man, you know, she really is doing what she says she's doing, but that's one of the things people want to see, the behind the scenes. You know, right now in this training, you know, I could take, my husband has taken videos of me training on something like this, and that becomes a piece of content. So remember, the more that you share with your audience, the more they know, like, and trust you, the more they're going to do business with you. So examples are going to be family pictures, working from home on a couch or the bed, you know. Imagine being able to show women around the world, hey, we can work our business on the couch while having our kids right next to us. Like I show that all the time because that's the reality that I live in. And then traveling pictures, like right now, obviously SolarCon's coming up. We just came back from San Diego virtual convention. So all of these become content where people are like, they're traveling again. Like some people don't get to do that. And it's the freedom that Powur has given us. So post things that you're doing and sell the lifestyle business, sell the time freedom. And it may be as simple as you just being on your computer right now. Right now, all of you guys, if you're struggling with content, you could take a picture of yourself being on this training, take a screenshot of being on this training, and that's a piece of content. People are going to be like, wow, you know, that, what are they training on? I want to know. And that's kind of giving them a little bit behind the scenes. Number 5 is going to be reaching out to people, social media conversations and engagement. If you're not engaging on social media, no one is engaging with you, right? If you are just posting something and expecting someone to automatically go in your inbox and say, I want solar, the reality is that's not going to happen. You know, so you need to send messages, you need to compliment people. Even just a good morning, making people feel good, doing this over time and really reaching out to 5-10 people a day. Think about how long it takes you to reach out to 5-10 people a day through Messenger. Doing this over time, and again, it takes time. It's not going to be like the 5-10 people that you talk to today automatically want to join your team, none of that, but you're building these relationships. So what's going to do is going to create and develop these social relationships of people that genuinely like you. Building these relationships, the more you know, again, we talked about the more people know, like, and trust you, the more they're going to refer you even. So people are looking at you right now like, yeah, you know, this person talk about solar, but can I actually refer Raysa? Can I actually refer, Sandra? So interact, reacting on people's posts and story, that's even better. So there's a section on Facebook where there's nothing but stories, right? And why do people post stories? They want to get a reaction. I don't think I want to post something on there and not get a heart or like, we want to get a reaction on the things that we're posting. That's a great opportunity for you guys, to be able to, I always, hey, oh my God, I love your hair. What is that? What are you eating? So I'm interacting in the messenger. And what that does is that it actually creates engagement on your newsfeed, because social media, the way that it works is it's saying it has an algorithm. If Raysa's having conversations with Sandra in the messenger, that means they're cool. So when Raysa goes on social media, I'm going to show more of Sandra's stuff than anyone else's, because I know they've been connected on private messenger. And that's what you guys can create in algorithms. And I guarantee that when you do these 5-10 conversations a day, then go ahead and post obviously something powerful or something lifestyle. And those people might be the first ones to like it, because they're going to be the first ones to see it. The reality is, if you have 5,000 people on your friends list, not everyone's going to see your post, especially if you're not engaging with them. So that's just a pro tip on how you can actually start conversation in Messenger without being intrusive. You're just replying to one of their stories and saying, giving them a compliment. Number 6 is do not mention your company name. This kind of goes with what I said earlier with changing your workplace to Powur. I know it sounds weird, right? That we don't want to mention Powur, but I would refrain of it as much as possible, because people will Google the company. People will make their own assumptions. They'll find just one bad review, right? We could have 500 great reviews and they'll find the one that may have been a little bad, and they'll make their whole decision of whether they're going to do business with you just based on that. Or they'll join someone else's team versus joining you because they're like, oh, that person introduced it to me before. So refrain as much as possible, build your own brand. Powur does allow you to build your own brand and be able to use Powur obviously as a subcontractor, but leave curiosity. The goal is to ask people to reach out to you to learn more, right? And so that's one of the biggest things. So for example, we went on a networking boat trip. This is a picture of my husband. And on the boat trip, there was a lot of houses, that had solar. Did we do the install on this particular house? No, but it becomes a piece of marketing, and of course, he said bad ass house, but that's just how my husband is, right? If they can do it, you can too, zero out of pocket. So there's always ways to create content. It's just really opening your mind. I know people say, I just don't know what to post or what to post. And there's just opportunities everywhere on what you can actually do. Number 7 is telling people to private message you. This is super important. I would refrain from putting like links and your replicated website. Again, first of all, when you do that, Facebook hides your post. If you're using links that take people off Facebook, Facebook will purposely hide it. They don't want people to come off Facebook. Their goal is to keep people on Facebook as long as possible. So as soon as you put a link on your post, automatically less people see it, number 1. Number 2, now again, you're limiting the curiosity. Now people going on your page, they're watching all the videos, and they are not actually connecting with you. The goal is to get them to connect with you and have a conversation. So use this as your main call to action. Ask people to private message you on every single post. Oftentimes I see people putting posts out, great posts, but then there's no call to action. There's nothing that says, if you're interested to learn more, private message me, okay? So again, here's an example that I use. If you're interested in learning more, send me a private message. I'd be happy to let you know what we're doing. This is less pushy, not spammy, and people will inbox you, but it will take consistency. Just because you do it today doesn't mean 100 people are gonna be in your inbox, but as you do it over time, trust me, now you turn the race around. Now, instead of you having a chase, you're gonna turn the race around where people are going to actually inbox you. Number 8 is going to be do not share company replicated websites on social media. Kind of went over this on the other slide. Kind of got ahead of myself, but that was number 8, basically the tip of not putting the links on social media, because it absolutely it's hidden from the platform altogether. The ultimate formula for building your business is to pique interest, ask people to private message you, and then get them on the call. So what you're ultimately doing is let me plug in mine. there we go, because I was about to die here. Getting them on a call and getting them from online to offline. Ultimately, you want to create conversations that lead to contacts, that lead to a referral, that leads to an ambassador, that leads to a seller, or that leads to someone actually going solar with you. So links provide no value on social media, and you're giving them no reason to talk to you. And also there's no tracking on who's clicking on our websites, right? So there's no way to track that activity. Number 9 is going to be, if you don't have a business page or a fan page, highly recommend, if you don't have one, it's okay. Put this on your list of things to do. And the reason why is because with that, you just build more credibility and authority with your market. And there's so much more capability. So you're able to run ads, campaigns, you're able to see who's following you, what ages are following you, what gender, what's the top cities that are following you. And this all can be valuable data for when you're actually trying to use a target market and get more leads. So again, if you don't have one, definitely recommend building one, building that out, using your Facebook page, business page as much as possible as well. And then last but not least is going to be, this is one of my favorites. It's something that I learned in my previous business. And when I learned this, I remember learning it January of, I believe it was actually December of 2019. And I came home, implemented, and by April of 2020, my team had doubled, right? So if you're looking to build a team and you're like, how do I help not only myself build a bigger team, but also help others build a team where they may not have built teams before. I know that, a lot of people that come to Powur really have not built teams before. So this is a good strategy for duplication. So we call this the ATM system. You create a group page, a private or public, whichever one you prefer. And then now what you do is you are going to be adding to this group potential sellers. So let's say someone inbox you, hey, I'm interested in the business opportunity that you're talking about. A lot of us don't have time to sit there and explain the compensation plan. And if it's Friday, you don't want to wait till Monday to invite them to a Powur hour, right? They could change their mind over the weekend. So we don't want that. So we want to show them something. And sometimes sending just a video is not enough, right? You send them a video, they don't watch it. So what I do is I created a group page that allows me to kind of drip on them over time. But more importantly, adding them to this group, tagging them on an overview. So I have an overview as a featured video on here. I have an overview video going over the comp plan. So what I do is I add them into the group, I'll tag them on the video, and I'll message them like, hey, I just tagged you on a video in our group and invited you. Once you're done watching that, get back to me. And imagine someone on your team that's not a team builder. Do you think they can do this? They can add, tag, and message someone simply, right? And then if there's any questions from that person after they've watched the video, then you want to connect them with someone that's more experienced if you're not. And we call this, the process of edification or three-way call, so that the person that sponsored you can actually answer those questions for you, right? But now, guess what? Every day we're putting things on this group like, hey, this seller just closed her first 3 deals. We had a seller on our team. I don't know if she's on here or not, but within 4 hours, we closed 3 deals for her. So that was huge. She hit tier 2 in 3 hours. We were able to close, those deals for her. So we put that in these groups, and now people that are already part of it that have maybe thought about the income opportunity before, we can tag them on those testimonies as well, but it is coming up for them as a notification. So, we add content daily, stories and testimonies, and this really helped our business 10x. And we're starting to develop that here with Powur as well. But of course we have the Powur days, we have the, the YouTube videos and everything like that as well. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know it's probably a lot to think about, but just changing little things on social media is really what's going to help you guys really reach, that either that income level or be able to recruit even more. So thank you so much for having me today. I really do appreciate it.
Man, thank you so much, Raysa, for this wonderful training. I got so many notes. I'm starting my group as soon as this is done. well, after my 12 o'clock, but I am starting my group, so you're going to see it. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot of people that are here in the group or on the call that want to know how to build a team and exactly what are those steps. And you've really laid out some very succinct steps for us to follow to help us grow our team. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. I see Isela. Come on in, Isela.
Thank you, Raysa. That was amazing. I got an opportunity to meet her in person during the leadership summit. So I really appreciate you coming on and joining us, giving us some amazing knowledge. But I do have a question. I know we talked more about Facebook, but it's amazing how the different responses are when you have an Instagram and a Facebook, how they can be the interaction. So for Instagram, I don't know if you can touch upon this or if anybody has advice. I had separated my personal with my business, and now it's just becoming like too much, right? When you're like posting on one, posting on the other. And so I didn't know, because you also want to show, like you said, lifestyle. So I'm doing trying to do more lifestyle pics. So any recommendation there on the Instagram side, if you should just put it all in one or separate?
Yeah, so I can answer that because I do have it where when I post on Facebook, it goes to Instagram. But one of the things I've realized is that just putting your Instagram on professional mode. So you don't have to create separate accounts. Putting it on professional mode gives you all of the capabilities to run ads and the analytics, but you're still on your personal page, and you could tie that to being able to have an app. For instance, Hootsuite, where you can actually create your content for the week and it would actually automatically post to all of the 3 platforms that you have. But I recommend always doing through your personal, yes, with Facebook, you want to do the business because that's the only way that you can do campaigns on the Facebook. But I think on Instagram, you could do a professional mode and still be able to have that personal touch instead of having to do 2. Because yes, it just ends up being more of a task than anything. So finding ways to simultaneously, when you post on Facebook or post on your Instagram, I think that's what helps me, because everything I post on Facebook automatically goes to Instagram. But do in a professional mode, right, versus having to have a business and an Instagram personal as well.
And then one more question, when you touched upon, fate not on your workplace, not having Powur, and those are great points of people looking at Powur and be like, oh no, I heard about them, or I had a bad experience, or so and so. So in the workplace, do we just put social, professional, or put your branding, whatever your branding name is?
You can omit it altogether. You don't necessarily have to have anything in the workplace. But if you do have a brand, then yeah, the CEO of Team R&R Consulting, so that's how I personally would do it. You always want to brand yourself. And obviously Powur is always going to be part of the equation. People are going to see our posts with Powur stuff. I'm not saying get away from that, but again, eliminating the curiosity where people could come onto your page and be like, oh, it says Powur right there. That's what I mean more than anything. So to answer the question, you can eliminate workplace altogether. You don't have to have it's not a requirement to have a workplace on there. Or you can actually put CEO of your brand.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you for asking those questions, Isela, and further detailing that, Raysa. So we are going to wrap our meeting, and Raysa's going to stay on for a few more minutes. So if you have questions, get them ready. Want to remind you guys that we have a NIM 3.0 toolkit right at that website there. It's provided for us by Powur. Go in and use that social media, use those tools provided to us. Also, our solar incentive, our spring into solar incentive is still going on. So that promo that gives a homeowner up to 1.5 years of their solar payment back at the end of the install. Make sure you know about that. Last but not least, our Women of Powur newsletter. So at the end of this training, there's going to be a recap video that goes out, a recap email. It's going to have Raysa's training plus access to all of the other wonderful training that we've done here. If you want to be on that newsletter, please provide first, last name, and email in the chat, and you will be added. You'll be added to our newsletter. We always end with a quote. Today, our quote is, "It's not about achieving one big goal. It's about the process of continuous improvement." That was by Unknown. It fit really well with Miss Raysa's training. Again, Raysa, thank you so much for being a part of our training today. That education was amazing, amazing on social media. So awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I am going to end the recording now. Please come back next week. But we're going to end this recording today, and we're going to go right into our office hours. Thank you for taking the time to watch the Women of Powur training series. I hope that you got some great value out of that video. And there's much, much more where that came from. Listen, if you'd like to join Powur or find out more about this awesome and amazing platform, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Have a great day.